Hi, I'm John Hope Bryant. I'm the founder, chairman, and chief executive officer of Operation Hope. I'm also the founder of 5MK, the 5 Million Kids Initiative at 5mk.org, and the author of Love Leadership, The New Way to Lead in a Fear-Based World. Today I want to talk to you about something that people say that they don't know how to solve, and I disagree. I think that in many ways we make life complex so that we don't have to solve many of our problems. We don't even have to deal with them directly. We have good intentions, but there's an old saying, no matter how much I love you, my son or my daughter, if I don't have wisdom, I can only give you my own ignorance. And so out of love, we pass down bad habits from generation to generation. Maybe it's what we don't know that we don't know that's killing us. I think we know this. We know why kids are dropping out of high school, but we have failed to really deal with it. Today I want to deal directly with the high school dropout epidemic that's ravaging our nation and could mean the destruction of not only a generation of young people, but as the Native Americans would tell you, every decision we make it impacts 7 generations yet unborn. This literally could unravel the great American success story. It could turn back the clock of time and could leave America completely uncompetitive for the time that is ahead of us. One could argue the time that is right now. The dropout rate amongst all of our kids in America today is 30%. Now, I didn't say 30% of black kids or brown kids or Asian kids or Latino kids in South Central or black kids on the 8th mile of Detroit. I didn't say that. 30% of all kids are dropping out of high school in America today. That should be alarming enough. For the wealthiest country in the world, the largest economy in the world, still about $14 trillion, between 13 and 14 trillion dollars, give or take. But you can take every major economy in the world, China, yes, China, India, Germany, Japan, throw in Russia for good measure, and put them inside our economy together and still have room. So we're still the largest economy in the world and arguably still the leader in the world, but we've got to continue to earn that right. We can't get lazy. In my book, Love Leadership, I talk about love as work. Non-love is laziness and anti-love is evil. Actually, that particular philosophy was actually borrowed from a great author named Dr. Scott Peck in The Road Less Traveled. He said in the first line, first sentence, first page of his best-selling book, now on the bestseller list for 25 years, life is difficult. Translation: if you can't get with that statement, don't read the rest of the book because nobody promised you a rose garden. Nobody said that life was going to be free of grief or pain. So love is work, and rainbows only follow storms. You cannot have a rainbow without a storm first. Let's look at these numbers a little deeper. 30% of all American kids dropping out of high school. We've gotten lazy. We're sitting back and resting on our laurels. But 30 to 40 to 50% of urban kids are dropping out of high school in the richest country in the world. Read Black and Brown. But it gets worse. In some places, 60% of Latino men are dropping out of high school. But it gets worse. As much as 70% of young black men in America are dropping out of high school. Now, I didn't say 70% of young black men, once again, in the south side of Detroit or in Chicago or some other place. Pick an urban city, close your eyes, and throw a dart at it. I didn't say that. That would be easy picking. That's what I talked about, the urban dropout rate of 30, 40, 50%. I said 70% of all black men in America, give or take a few percentage points, are dropping out of high school. Who's going to marry your daughter? Who's going to work in your business? Who's going to pay Social Security? And keep in mind that if brilliance and talent and gifts are not used for good means and productive means, then they're used for bad means and unproductive means. But brilliance and talent will go somewhere. 70%. If this was a statistic of mainstream America, there'd be a call for a national emergency. There'd be a national rollout of leaders in this country. There'd be a federal state of national emergency called because this is completely unacceptable. But yet, with 70% of young black men dropping out of high school, we are twiddling our fingers. We are pondering what we do next. This is time for action. I think that we know, or at least we can figure out why these kids are dropping out of high school, and then we can create a plan to change it. Why are kids dropping out of high school? Because they don't think education is relevant to their future. Every good business, in fact, I'd argue the best American businesses, and the best businesses in the world are those who stay closest to their customer, who listen to their customer. Well, in this case, in the spirit of education, this student is our customer. These kids are not dumb, and they're not stupid. They might have been hijacked by thug culture. When I was growing up in the inner city in Compton and South Central, I remember 35 kids in the classroom and 30 kids acting like they wanted to learn and 5 kids acting like knuckleheads. Today you go into an inner city school and 30 kids are acting like knuckleheads and 5 kids are ashamed to admit they want to learn. These kids are not dumb and stupid. They didn't change overnight. They were been hijacked by thug culture. Quincy Jones, our 5MK co-chair, along with American icon Ambassador Andrew Young, Quincy Jones says it takes 20 years to change a culture. Well, in the last 20 years, I think we've made dumb sexy. We've dumbed down and we've celebrated it. And we need to make smart sexy again. Let me give you one example. I used to think because I grew up in the hood, I understood poverty. And so I'd see somebody, lazy, shiftless, sitting around on their front porch, chilling, as they say. And I'd say, you are dumb, you are stupid, get up, get a job, stop whining, stop complaining. And now I realize they may be lazy, they may have some bad habits, but they're not dumb and they're not stupid. These kids are brilliant. Why? These kids want to be rap stars, athletes, and in many cases, drug dealers. But this just shows they are brilliant. Yes, I said brilliant, because they're modeling what they see. Malcolm Gladwell in the book The Tipping Point said it only takes 5% role models to stabilize any community. Now think about that, the power of role models, not 80% role models. That's tough. Not 50% role models. That's tough. Not 20% role models. That's tough. Not even 10% role models. 5% role models will change the world and stabilize any community. But what do we have in inner cities? 3.7% role models or less. So kids don't see a doctor, lawyer, banker, professional, a woman in a business suit. Why are you a professional? Because you saw one. Why are you a success story? Because you modeled success. These kids want to be rap stars, athletes, and drug dealers because they are brilliant. They are modeling what they see. I want to give them something different to see. So the solution, I think, to the high school dropout rate is fairly simple. These kids want to be prosperous. They want to be successful. We're living in a capitalist world, and a world that is unfortunately surrounded by money and materialism. These kids want to be successful. Nobody wants a mortgage. Nobody woke up in the morning and said, ooh, give me a subprime 20% interest red mortgage. Give me a predatory loan. No, they said, I want to become a homeowner. Maybe too badly, but I want to become a homeowner. And because of financial illiteracy, they asked what was the payment, not what was the interest rate. You never ask what the payment is when there's an interest rate attached. That's a whole nother video for another time. Nobody said, I want a car loan. Nobody woke up in the morning and said, ooh, I can't wait to get a car loan. You want a cool car or an efficient automobile. Most children don't wake up in the morning and say, I want to go through school from K through 12 years. I want to go to undergraduate for another 4 years. And I want to go to graduate school for another, 2, 4, 8 years. I want to be in debt $250,000 to the educational establishment and banks for student loans so that my monthly payments are $2,000 a month when I fit to get out of school. Most kids don't do that. They want to be successful, okay? So how do you break the back of the high school dropout generation? It's very simple. Show kids how to prosper, how to succeed, how to do well, and even how to get rich legally if that's what they want. That's financial literacy, free enterprise and capitalism, ownership, opportunity, and entrepreneurship. I have said privately, but I'm going to say publicly. If you are a drug dealer in the inner city, it's immoral, it's unethical, and you need to pay your debt to society, and there's probably a special place in hell reserved for you. But if you are a, quote, successful drug dealer in the inner city, and that's a bit of an oxymoron, but if you're a successful drug dealer in the inner city, one thing you are not is dumb. You understand import, export, finance, marketing, wholesale, retail, customer service, profit margin, geography, territory, security. You're not a dumb person. You're a misdirected person. Together, we can break the back of the high school dropout generation in America. Imagine this. You give 1 hour a month. I have about 13,000 Hope Corps volunteers at Operation Hope. I have 1,400 in the state of Georgia, which is why I have that on my mind. 13,000 Hope Corps volunteers globally. people who give a little bit of their time and a lot of their joy and who get more back than they give. But give 1 hour a month, 12 months out of the year. Imagine that, 12 hours a year, on your way to work, on your way home, stop at a church, mosque, Boys and Girls Club, nonprofit, school, and teach a course in dignity. Tell your story. Teach a course in financial literacy. If you're a small business owner, show a kid how to be a small business owner or an entrepreneur or a self-employment project, because that's where the jobs are going to come from in the future. Inspire a kid to be different so that the kid is not only learning the left brain, the knowledge of how to do, but they're looking at you and saying, wow, I can be you. In that way, you change the world. I'll leave you with this. There's a difference between being broke and being poor. Being broke is economic, but being poor is a disabling frame of mind and a depressed condition of your spirit, and you must vow never to be poor again. Help me change the world. Go to 5mk.org and make a pledge to take our communities back and make smart sexy again. God bless and make a great day.